You're sitting in a hotel bar, and two different men are about to walk through that door, and each one believes you work for him alone. The first thinks you're loyal to your country, feeding him the enemy's secrets. The second thinks you betrayed your country, feeding them yours. Both are paying you. Both trust you. And both would put a bullet in your skull the instant they learn the truth. The truth is a thing no one can know. You work for both, and you serve only one. But on some nights, late ones, like this one, even you aren't entirely sure which. You take a sip of your drink. Your hand is perfectly steady. It has to be. A double agent's life isn't protected by a gun or a wall. It's protected by one thing only, the lie staying perfect. The door opens. You smile. This is what it's like to live two lives that would kill each other if they ever met. You don't set out to become a double agent. No one does. You get there one impossible choice at a time. It starts when the other side recruits you. Maybe they catch you in a compromising moment. Maybe they offer money you need. Maybe they simply find your pressure point and press it. They think they've turned you. They think you're now theirs, a traitor inside your own service, feeding them secrets. But you don't run. You walk straight into your own handler's office and tell him everything. They tried to turn me. And that's when your real handler smiles. Because this is the most valuable thing an officer can become. He doesn't tell you to refuse the other side. He tells you to say yes. From this moment, you live a lie inside a lie. To the enemy, you're their man, a traitor selling out your country. To your country, you're a hero, a window straight into the enemy's mind. You'll feed the enemy information your own side wants them to have. You'll bring home everything they let slip in return. You agree, because you understand the prize. A good double agent is worth 1,000 soldiers. You can feed the enemy lies that lose them battles they think they're winning. You don't yet understand what it costs to be two people at once. They teach you that a double agent's only weapon is consistency. Every word you tell one side must survive contact with the other side forever. You build two complete stories, and you must never ever mix them. What you told the enemy on Tuesday has to match what you tell them in a year. What you bring your own side has to be real enough to be useful and safe enough to give away. You learn to keep two sets of facts in your head at all times, like a man juggling knives in the dark. You learn the deadliest skill, passing information you're allowed to lose. Your own side will hand you real secrets to give the enemy, true things, but things that don't actually hurt, things designed to build the enemy's trust in you. This is called chicken feed. Small true grains to make the enemy believe the whole harvest is real. The art is making garbage look like gold. You learn to spot the test. The enemy will feed you false information just to see if it comes back to them through other channels. If it does, they know you're reporting to your own side, and you're dead. So you learn to recognize the bait, to let it pass through your hands untouched. You graduate to no applause as always. Just 2 phone numbers, 2 code names, and 1 truth you'll carry alone. From now on, the only person on earth who knows who you really are is you. Your first real handoff to the other side. Months of careful work come down to a single meeting in a foreign city. You bring them a folder. Inside is real intelligence. Your own service approved every page. It's true. It's verifiable. And it's worthless in the ways that matter. But the enemy doesn't know that. They check it against what they already know, and it holds up. Their trust in you deepens. In return, you listen. You're careful never to seem too eager. You let them talk. A complaint here, a boast there, a name dropped without thinking. You remember everything. The enemy thinks they're running you. They have no idea that every word they speak near you flows home through a channel that bounces across 6 countries before anyone reads it. You walk out of that meeting with a single careless sentence the enemy didn't know they gave you. And that one sentence, back home, becomes the thread that unravels an entire operation. You file your report. Your own side is thrilled. The enemy is thrilled. 2 masters, both happy, both certain you're theirs. And you go back to your hotel and sit in the dark, the only person alive who knows the truth. Now your own side trusts you enough for the real game, feeding the enemy lies that change history. The enemy is planning something, an attack, an operation, a move. Your side knows it's coming. So they craft a beautiful lie, and they give it to you to deliver, because you're the source the enemy trusts most. You bring the enemy false intelligence about where your forces are weak, where they should strike, what your side will and won't do. Because it comes from you, their trusted traitor. They believe it. They plan around it. They commit their resources based on a map you drew, a map that's deliberately wrong. This is the most dangerous work you'll ever do, because the lie has to be perfect. If even one detail doesn't match reality, the enemy will smell the trap and they'll know their trusted man is a plant. Every false fact you hand them is a knife you're holding by the blade. When the enemy makes their move, they walk into exactly the trap your side built. The operation fails. They never understand why. They comb through everything looking for the leak, and they never suspect you. Because you're the one who warned them, the one who's always been right. You've just won a battle without firing a shot, and no one will ever know it was you. But you can't be right forever. Sooner or later, the enemy starts to wonder. Their operations keep failing. Their plans keep meeting walls they didn't expect. Someone, somewhere is leaking, and slowly, inevitably, the suspicion turns toward the man who has access to all of it. You. This is the stage that breaks most double agents. The enemy starts testing you. They feed you a false secret and watch to see if it surfaces elsewhere. They change a meeting at the last second to see how you react. They ask you the same question twice, weeks apart, and compare your answers word for word. You feel the temperature drop. The handler who used to smile now watches you. A car that lingers, a question with an edge. You're being hunted by the very people who trust you, and you can't run. Running is a confession. So you do the hardest thing imaginable. You stay calm, you stay consistent, and you let them test you, knowing that one slip means a quiet room and a bullet. You pass their tests one by one, not because you're lucky, but because you built the lie so carefully that it survives every probe. You go home and your hands finally shake, alone, in the dark, where no one can see. Because you know the suspicion never really goes away now. From here on, you're living on a fault line. Then comes the moment every double agent dreads, a choice with no clean answer. The enemy, to finally prove your loyalty, demands something real. Not chicken feed. A true secret, one that will cost lives on your own side. They've cornered you. Refuse, and they'll know you were never theirs. Comply, and your own people die. There's no time to consult your handler. The decision is yours alone, in a room with men watching your face for the smallest flicker of hesitation. This is the loneliest moment in all of intelligence work. You've spent years being two people, and now the two people want opposite things, and you have seconds to choose which one you really are. You make the choice. You give them something engineered in the instant to look like the secret they wanted, but cost far less than they think. A sacrifice, but a controlled one. You spend a piece of your soul to keep the larger lie alive. It works. Barely. Their trust holds, but you walk out of that room a different man, because you've learned the final truth of this work. A double agent doesn't get to keep his hands clean. The price of living two lies is that eventually, both of them ask you to bleed. You've been doing this for years now. Two names, two stories, two sets of people who trust you completely and would kill you instantly. But somewhere along the way, the line inside you started to blur. You spent so long being the enemy's loyal man that the role fits like a second skin. You've told the lie so many times as some mornings you wake up unsure which version of you opened his eyes. The relationships are gone. You can't have real ones. Every connection is a vulnerability one side or the other could exploit. The people who know the real you fit on, no hands at all, because there's only one, you. The paranoia is constant. Every friendly face might be a test. Every kind word might be bait. You trust no one, because you of all people know exactly how easily trust can be manufactured and weaponized. You've done it 100 times. So why do you do it? Because the lies you tell win battles that bullets can't. Because an operation that never happened saved lives no one will ever count. Because somewhere people went home safe tonight who'd be dead if you hadn't spent years being two men instead of one. None of them will ever know your name. They couldn't pick either of your faces out of a crowd. That's the only reward there is. And most days it's enough. You're in a bar now. Could be any city. Gray hair, a steady hand, a face that both sides still trust, and neither side truly knows. A younger man sits a few stools down, nervous in a way he's trying to hide. You've watched the whole thing play out. You saw the other side make contact with him an hour ago, saw the fear and the temptation war across his face. He's been offered the same impossible thing you were offered a lifetime ago. He doesn't know yet whether he'll run, refuse, or say yes and walk it straight to his own handler. You could tell him everything. How to hold two stories without dropping either. How to spot the test. How to make garbage look like gold. How to survive being two people who want each other dead. But you won't. Because he doesn't know you exist. Doesn't know that the gray man at the end of the bar is the most successful double agent either side ever ran. And he never will. That's the rule. It's always been the rule. The world is moved by people living lives that would kill each other if they ever met, by traitors who were never traitors, by the loneliest people alive. You finish your drink. You leave exact change. You walk out into a night that belongs to neither side, and somewhere a handler is sliding into the sea beside that young man, ready to make him an offer he won't be able to refuse. The cycle begins again.